We will call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026. It is 4:30 p.m. I am Fourth Ward Councilman Mike Ray and the committee vice chair. The first item on our agenda is the chairperson's roll call. To my right,
Julius Oliver, First Ward City Council member.
Jimmy Hughes, Second Ward City Council.
Amber White, Seventh Ward City Councilwoman.
Yeah. Cynthia McWilson, Sixth Ward City Councilwoman.
Hey,
Thank you.
Aaron Bishop, Health Department.
Charles Sasha, Public Works.
Mike Drummond, Building and Grounds.
Jonathan Health Mayor's Office.
Gary Johnson, Water Department.
Bill Steiner, wastewater.
Courtney County Fire Department.
Mike Durkin, Code Enforcement.
William Franklin, Executive Director of Parks.
Adam Bensey, Law Department.
Kyle Isaac, Finance.
Doug Kelly, Fifth Ward Council.
Chad Hawks, Law Department. Steven Skolnick, the Vindicator.
Abby Benison, wastewater.
Molly Bianco, Law Department.
Sean Corpolo, Police Department.
Sharon Cole, Police Department.
Allison Downs, Code Enforcement.
Jermaine Kitchen, CPAD. John R. Swires, former councilman.
Linda Bath, Court Administrator.
Steve Barashek, CFED. Rich Harvey, Finance. David Labra, Special Events.
Valencia Merrill, City Clerk.
All right, item 1 has been completed. We'll move to item number 2, pending legislation. Our first ordinance is item number 1, adopting and approving the 2026 annual appropriations budget. File any additional comments or any?
Through the chair, I'd like to thank you all for making the time and putting the effort in to meet and discuss the departments. I appreciate the hard work, and I also understand sometimes the frustration. It's not the easiest process. But here we are, prior to the end of the month. We have a balanced budget in front of us. Yes, the appropriation will exceed our current forecasted revenues, but we're sitting on a sizable surplus. The department heads, through the mayor, are requesting that council support the need of additional capital, and council during that budget meeting process was very cooperative, and we're grateful, and we appreciate that. We have to come back to you to ultimately request that we spend those funds. But thank you for the time and the opportunity for us to at least explain to you why we are asking for those items and your appreciation, and one, recognizing that it's not an easy process. There are some areas that we seem to heavily emphasize on, and there's other areas that sometimes we seem to struggle, and that's why it's an open process, and we look for your cooperation and collaboration. Thank you.
You would just remind us what those expenses are for the total?
The actual total, I did not bring that number. The document itself, if we have anybody has their packet, it's going to be the last page.
Okay.
It'll identify the total revenues and the total appropriations. And again, like I said, the appropriations exceed the revenues. But remember, this is fund accounting. And where that occurs in each fund, the opening cash balance within that fund is in excess of the shortfall
So
that exists in each of the funds that are on the budget process.
So this would be the largest we've ever.
Through the chair, no, that was last year because we do not need to appropriate the ARP funds. They're all encumbered. So as part of the soft close process, those balances get brought forward because at the end of 2024, council or the administration approved all those POs, and those balances automatically roll. So that's why that budget is not as large as it was last year. But the overall budget on the last page identifies that we are forecasting you're appropriating almost $254 million, and we are projected revenues of $225.5 million. Across all funds.
Thank you. Just wanted to, the magnitude of that, how large it is. It's pretty substantial. Councilman Oliver.
Thank you, through chair. And Chuck, I was just wondering if you got those quotes for the bathrooms and when we vote, I just wanted to know.
Through the chair, I did not.
You did not get the
I
quotes.
did not request. Sorry.
Little team.
Well.
Don't sound like a vote.
Any other questions or?
Any particular reason for it?
Through the chair, it's just that I've been busy. I didn't realize you wanted it before the budget.
We said it, Chuck. Can we just vote Chuck's? Oh, out.
So that was page what?
It's getting Chuck. So how soon can we expect to get those numbers, Chuck?
Through the chair, it was one restaurant. I don't really have a lot of specifics on it. Like, I don't know how big you want it or,
We just wanted an overall price on how much it would cost to put
well, basically per square foot. So like, depending on the size.
That's like a yes or no, like, yeah, I can get you the prices.
Through the chair, I will get your price, yes.
Thank you, I appreciate it. How soon can we get that?
Through the chair, I'll have it to you by the end of the week.
Thank you, I appreciate that, Chuck. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 2. Water breaks, high winds, Harry?
Mr. Chairman, if it's okay, if I can handle 2 and 3.
Sure.
Yeah, so just some historical context. Since we've been keeping track of water breaks, since early 90s, our maximum month was 123. Last month we had 130. So it was a trying month for us, but we have most of what we need to do to get people water. So in addition to our current crews, we had to contract some of the work out. So AP Ahura, that reflects actually 2 breaks. It's on the expensive side, but the reason why is because the one break that we had, we don't have the capacity, the depth at which the water line was an 8-inch, was located, was beyond our backhoe's capacity because they have about a 12 to 16-inch reach, whereas the equipment they have goes up to I think about 20 feet. So even if we could have fixed that break, we didn't have the equipment. We would have had to farm it out. And then also we had to pay an extra because it was an emergency weekend repair. So that's why that was a little bit on the expensive side. So we ended up doing 2 breaks with that one. Number 3, same concept where we had to contract some of the work out, but that was with utility contracting. And as a result of the working with them, they were able to send breaks for us with that 43,000.
Okay.
That's it.
So there are occasions where it just exceeds our abilities and,
Well, that happens, and then we just got behind. We just trying to keep up.
yeah, with the extreme weather.
Yeah.
Any questions? Councilwoman White?
Through the chair. Mr. Commissioner, can you send me the locations of the 2 breaks from AP O'Hara and number 3, the 10 breaks? Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything else on items 2 or 3? Okay, seeing none, we can move to item number 4. Who wants to take a shot at this?
Through the chair.
Go ahead.
Kyle, so what fund is this coming out? General or this?
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Kyle.
The police department is requesting this be paid out of the stop and traffic funds.
Does that fall within the guide? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Follow
Pat.
through the
Chair, yes, because in 2025, we paid the shot spotter from the same fund.
Anyone else have any other questions regarding the shot spotter piece of legislation renewal? Councilman Hughes?
We have 1 or 2 shot spotters.
Through the chair, I'm gonna let police address that correctly. If you not, I would.
Sean, are you?
Through the chair, we have 1, the original legacy that we had.
Councilman Hughes, you have a follow-up?
Is that this 95? What does it do for both of them? And is that what we're doing or not?
So Sean, for clarification, so we only have one, or is this fee for one?
This is the fee that it covers the original 2 miles that we've always had.
Please do something.
Councilwoman White?
Through the chair. Sean, was there any updates on the grant for the extension shot spotter? And is any of these dollars going towards that extension?
Through the chair,
Go ahead.
we're waiting on that to come back. We did submit for that grant to cover the extension. But I don't have an answer for you right now. We're just waiting on them.
Okay.
Councilwoman White?
Follow up, thank you. Through the chair. Sean, can you please send me the coverage map specifically for this location?
Go ahead, Sean.
I guess we can work on that.
Councilwoman White?
Yeah, I need to make sure that my residents are aware of what locations are covered now, since our ward is not now being covered in that location. I don't want any of them to assume or think that their locations are on or off. That way they just have clarification on what's covered and what is not covered with that map. So if you can give me that map, thank you.
Okay.
Right. Okay, any other questions on item number 4? Hearing none, item number 5, wastewater grant or stormwater agreement. Someone here from wastewater or who's covering that?
Chair.
Yes, Domain.
Water, it's through CPAD. This is the gas station on Market Street that got underway last year. These funds are coming from the Business Development Fund to support that project. They were originally going to do a above ground retention pond or water detention system, but they used some new technology and they put it underground. And so these funds help offset the cost of that project so it can continue forward.
Councilman Oliver?
Through the chair. This isn't a topic we discussed at the last CPAD meeting, is it?
Say that
We
again?
didn't discuss this at the last CPAD meeting, right?
This was discussed last year. This was under previous Councilwoman Anita Davis pledge and commitment. So we're just seeing it through.
But recall we had plans for some site upgrades that were presented.
I think the original was somewhere around 185,000. We looked at the project and the scope and everything that they did and needed to do. 100,000 was more in line of what we thought was reasonable to help assist that project.
And let's put it back in committee.
You want to discuss it again?
Like the change in scope is.
Okay.
And one of Amber's pages,
Say that again?
taking one of Amber's pages out of her book, change in scope.
Look, well, through the chair, the scope didn't change
I just want to know why the price went down, I guess. What happened? What's the changes?
because the scope didn't change, just the amount that we were willing to contribute changed.
You just said the scope changed.
I did not. I said they were originally going to do an above ground retention pond. They did an underground one. That was already part of what was discussed previously.
Okay.
And you committed through your former colleague, 185,000. The scope didn't change since that commitment was made. Unfortunately, there was nothing on paper, just a verbal commitment, and we wanted to make sure we still honor them by committing to help that project. So that's how we came up with 100,000.
Kyle, these are unrestricted funds when they're in business development?
Through the chair, that is correct. Yes.
My apologies. I heard your explanation and the scope changed in my mind.
No worries.
Yeah, if we could just see what the development agreement is on that. Do they have a development agreement to know what we're quantifying, the project work, the potential benefit to the city if we're putting $100,000 into, traditionally, we don't do stormwater retention ponds that I can recall, as an incentive.
You're asking me?
I'll address this one.
Oh, okay.
The chair. The prior administration made a presentation to council where I don't think we took the time to consider all the different asks that were in the request. When the new administration took place, we decided that we wanted to fulfill this commitment as best we could with what we have in our budget. We came back to council in the new calendar year and asked about council supporting 22 Market Street. And council came on board and passed that legislation. So we looked at curtailing this so that we could afford to do both because one, this administration is supportive and brought forth to bring it to closure. And two, this was a project that the prior administration supported. And given the means that we have available to support this, the documentation that was supplied of all the design for this, ultimately, we wanted to show that we were supportive of this expansion on the market of city of Youngstown. And we have decided internally that we would like to request council to provide $100K towards that project. And that's what we believe that we have budgeted. And that is why we're in front of you tonight asking you to support that.
Thank you, Kyle. Councilman Oliver?
Pretty sure, thank you. Is this like in a hurry to get passed? Like, is it time restrictions on this right now? Is it a rush thing?
Through the chair.
Domain?
It's not time sensitive. What it does is, well, just being honest, we were put on the hook for a commitment that was made prior to coming in. When the developers and the property owners came to us asking if we would honor that commitment, there was no documentation saying, it was just a verbal. What we decided is to support the project as best as we can, as Kyle mentioned already, just so that the city wouldn't be in a bad position when it comes to people doing business in the city. So essentially, we're just honoring a commitment that we have trying to honor a commitment as best as possible that was made prior to us coming in. So council can support it, not support it. It's really your purview. We were just trying to make sure a commitment that was made prior was honored so that the city doesn't have a black eye.
Sure.
I just want to pose a question to Sixth Ward Councilwoman. This is your ward. You inherited these projects basically. Do you want to go? Do you want this to go to the CPAC committee to discuss it more so you know what's going on, or are you okay with passing it today? It's your ward, so.
Yeah, through the chair, I
Go
would
ahead.
like for it to be discussed more so I can get a little bit more information on that. Thank you.
No problem. I'll say the same
Do you have
thing.
any, but also I guess on that, the update of the sign, is that part of the project? Still
The
the welcome?
sign, we can discuss it more in the CPAC meeting.
Okay.
But the sign is currently not on the table.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Domain.
Through the chair, just it should be noted that one of the others, there were 4 items, but the third item was replacement of some sidewalk, the system with some sidewalk. That was in the roadway budget that I presented. So that is, at some point, you, as council will see legislation to help them replace the sidewalks.
So how much was that?
That was originally, through the chair, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say it was around 60,000.
So they're getting $160,000.
We're getting $160,000 to finish their project.
Through the chair, this was presented.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was
Yeah.
presented, but
This is the.
it was presented a lot higher though, the last time.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it in the committee then. That's gonna meeting. Okay, thank you. Moving to item number 6. Is this Mike Durkin with asbestos?
Through the chair, yes, that's me.
Okay.
This is what we put before council every year to do our demolition for the year. If you have any questions on it.
Okay.
I happen to have all of the abandoned and vacant structures, I made a list because I thought that was gonna be a question, how many do we have left? So I have it. If anybody wants it.
Let's hear the highlights if you.
No, there's no highlights. It's just a
Okay.
whole list in every ward you can see. Pass that down to council.
Uh-huh.
There you go. And I have it in a map. It's very hard to read, but council wants, I'll email it to you.
Go ahead, Councilman Hughes.
What did we do in December of, just recently we discussion on this, something came before council. You had some figures or something? With the, I thought it was the
For demolition through the chair.
abatements, the vested, whatever that stuff back and forth there. Can you bring something before us? I believe it was December 2025.
Through the chair, I just don't remember. I'm not saying it. I just.
Part of our, through the chair,
Go ahead, Kyle.
it's discussing the things that we then notify the county of, the changes made by the committee.
Oh, through the chair, the assessments?
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's not, nothing to do with this.
Just asking what it was.
Oh, that was the assessments to remove the taxes?
Yeah, a lot of that was
Yes,
seemed to be
yes,
on this
yes.
same thing here, but
Yeah.
this is not the
This
same.
is not this, no.
And I apologize for
Oh,
not
sorry.
knowing exactly what
No.
it was. That would be the last time that ever happened.
Okay. Anything else on 6? Seeing none, move to number 7, emergency snow removal throughout the city and the central business district. I think, Chuck, you want to give us some highlights on, I know that people seem to rave about snow removal. We heard your street got plowed multiple times in the previous meeting, so. Just, no, all kidding aside, I think overall we heard good feedback on the use of the contractors, the strategy, plowing the side streets ahead of the crash routes and things like that. There was some real strategy employed. So if you want to give us some highlights on that.
Through the chair, my street did not get plowed several times. Let's just put that on the record. We did use 6 different contractors. We used exclusively used contractors on the side streets. And they were literally had equipment idling ready to go when it was time to plow. We did have a lot of warning on this particular storm. That I think that made all the difference. And, I can't take all the credit. Mike Drummond, obviously with the street department and Abby from wastewater, mobilized a lot of contractors just from our contacts at wastewater, as well as some wastewater crews and park department crews downtown. So we had 3 contractors downtown. We had 3 out in the neighborhoods, moving the snow out of downtown and dumping it. And it worked out very well. I would really love to say that every snowstorm would be like this, but the physical characteristics of the storm and the amount of warning we had was a huge factor, but we responded like I couldn't ask for a better response. So.
Thank you. And thanks for all those departments you mentioned working in coordination, because even when we have contractors, we still have to supervise and guide some of that, right? So it requires a ton of coordination.
Through the chair, we have to actually go out and we use multiple departments to guide the equipment through the side streets so that they don't get lost or wherever, some of these areas of the city. But we did focus on the garbage routes first. That was something that were done before. We had a lot of time to plan it. And unfortunately we did all that planning and then the landfills closed. So we had to delay the garbage anyways, but at least the trucks were able to get through and gave us 1 extra day. So I'm obviously pretty happy the way it went and I hope that continues.
Thank you. Moving to number 8, and Adam, you have multiples there. Go ahead. 8 and 9, is that right?
Yeah, through the chair, talked about these in budget with council. And succession planning is something that I've been talking about with Jonathan for as long as I've worked here. And essentially, we had Marty Kane in HR for 20 years, and when we could not replace her, we could not bring in somebody contemporaneously with her. And it was a really difficult time for probably 4 or 5 months until we finally replaced her. And so what we learned during that time was, one, HR and risk, which is Terry Shasho, they have inherited like 3 or 4 jobs that people used to do 30 years ago. Now they do it by themselves. When Marty left, it took like 3 people in law and 3 people in finance to do what she did on her own. So that's a very critical job. Number 2, we had trouble recruiting for that job because the salaries just weren't competitive with the private sector at all. And number 3, we basically structured these 2 positions now, and this is something, again, I've been working on with Jonathan. We're creating a second slot. We're not filling the second slot, but what this will allow us to do is when somebody does notify us that they intend to retire, now we at least have something in the master salary ordinance where we can appoint somebody to that position to train under somebody like Terry, who's been at the city for more than 20 years, work under her for 3 to 6 months and go from there. And then it gives room for promotion for that position, promote longevity, retention, and that sort of thing. So I would appreciate council's support with these 2 pieces of legislation.
So we have roughly, Kyle, what's the head count for the entire 87 what?
Through the chair, we are under 700 when you exclude seasonal and part-time.
But
we
high 600s.
Correct, through the chair.
So, and then we're looking at a operating budget this year of, in excess of $225 million. So with 600 employees, we have a pretty large operation going on. So to have a properly staffed human resource department or supervisor or claims investigator, there's definitely a need for the size of operation we're running here in the city of Youngstown.
You couldn't say it any better. And I would reiterate too, with regards to risk, that's all workers' comp. And we all know that people get injured. And we need to make sure that we have somebody in that role that knows how to protect the city, working directly with the law department. So these are 2 very important positions. And the administration is very supportive, and we're looking for council to come alongside and hopefully possibly even recommend supporting this individually, just because it impacts you also. You actually, when this new council person is coming on board, having to bring that person through this process, a council person will learn the steps that you've already gone through, but even all new employees, they have to get integrated into the system. And both of these role positions are part of that.
And I would venture to say we probably have people coming and going, not a ton all the time, but there's always, someone either leaving or hiring someone in a lot of these departments. So
that's true.
Councilman White, did you have a? Go ahead.
Yes, through the chair. Just listening what Kyle was saying, it really reflected on our own city council department. Being short-staffed that we are, and the importance of making sure that these departments, obviously, the importance of them are functioning, their fullest abilities. And I know that are definitely in need of assistance within our own department. So if we can, please, council members, have that discussion on trying to get help in our own department also. So it wasn't, I was speaking on this, and that's what clicked with me on seeing these departments, needing this help, obviously. And it was a reflection of our own department is what brought. So just bringing that into us. Let's please have that conversation about our own department, making sure that it is functioning properly.
Okay.
I promise you, we're gonna have it.
All right. Anything else on 8 or 9? Okay, hearing none. Moving to item number 10. With water bills, assistance. Harry, go ahead.
Sure. So I have to do a little bit of explaining here.
Yeah, 10 and 11 are together, right?
Yeah, 10 and 11, yeah. So back in 2021, we partnered with HomeServe to the city and HomeServe to use our customer base to solicit their product, which council approved and DOC approved. In that agreement, they pledged to send the city 50 cents per policy. So what happened, and I do not have an explanation as to how things fell through the cracks. I just don't. I talked to the representative at least 2 or 3 times a year, and it's just a detail that I forgot about, we never talked about. To make a long story short, they were sending us checks and they weren't getting cash. Somebody in finance was keeping the checks because they didn't know what they were for. And I didn't remember to even have that conversation with the individual regarding that payback. Make a long story short, so we found out what the checks were, and just to give you some information, they sent us a check for $578.22, $8,029.23, $3,159.24, $4,374.25, all of which I have copies of. That's what represents the $16,142. So I just wanted to point that out. And I just got the one for 25, 5,100, which is not included in this. So in any case, that's what the 16,000 is. It's the money that the city was owed per the contract and as a result of the relationship we have with HomeServe. So I could take those proceeds and use them to buy equipment, so on and so forth, do whatever. I elected a different option, to use those proceeds to partner with our current partners right now that we deal with, Catholic Charities, MyCat, and Protestant Family, where they pay water bills for people in the community, disadvantaged families. They pay the water bills for, and I don't know what their criteria is. I don't want to get into that. I don't think the city should get into that, but designate these funds to give to them for their program, to give to customers that have problems with their bill, because ultimately it comes back to us.
Right.
So that's what this is setting up. It's appropriating, accepting the money and then appropriating in our budget to allow for us to do what I just described. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to give you all the information.
No, thank you. Kyle, any more checks you can find in a drawer anywhere now? I can imagine with 220 million something, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. Councilman Hughes.
Just a division of how the money's gonna be divided, it seems. You had mentioned more than one organization that you wanted to give it to, divided among. I'm just wondering, how's that gonna be decided?
Just a third to each.
Evenly.
Yeah, just a third to each.
Will you just reward that as a grant to them or something like that, or?
Well, the chair, you can answer that part.
Through the chair, they will send us an actual invoice
Okay.
asking us for those funds, and then we will pay them. And that is the reason why we were unable to process these. These were not payments for water usage. These were checks that were showing up, and there was a disconnect between water and finance of why an entity was sending us checks when they didn't even have an account in the city.
Right, okay.
So that happened to me.
Go ahead, Councilman Oliver.
Through the chair, I want to co-sponsor this piece. I don't know if we all want to sponsor it. I think it's a good thing for the community. Definitely help out, especially with the economy being the way it is right now.
Anyone else want to, should be council as a whole or council as a whole? Council as a whole, okay. Clerk, everyone on the body would like to also sponsor this piece, these two pieces of legislation, 10 and 11.
Not all council persons are here.
Oh, we have yeah, still would be, we have over 4. Thank you. to be pointed out, we don't have everyone here. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Item number 12, Health Clinic Service Fund. Aaron, do you want to?
Through the chair, this is monies that we bring in every year through our vaccination clinics and our office visits. And we want to utilize those funds to purchase, we need a new vaccination refrigerator, which is not cheap, and a couple tablets our nurses need, and some other equipment that we need in the reproductive health and wellness clinic.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Aaron on item number 12? Item number 13. The Police Project Reserve. Councilman Hughes.
What is it?
Says increase appropriations by 145,000 police. This code for the Police Project Reserve. Sean, do you want to
Through the chair,
address this?
that's tied to number 4, shot spotter will come out of that. And also the money set aside for maintenance to the school zone placards and any signage that needs change. You know, I know some schools are gonna be changing around this next year, so it's just getting the money there so we can use it.
So that project fund is the one tied to the school zones?
Correct.
Okay. Councilman Hughes, anything else?
Nah, he might as well just give 14, call it a day.
Okay. Is there any comments on 14 is tied to the same, or no, I'm sorry.
It's not.
Oh, did you have, oh. Go ahead, Sean.
14 is, it's just appropriating the funds from, that we get back from state mandated training for the police department every year. And then it can be used for future training for police department personnel.
Is this,
Councilman Hughes?
this money that we already, council already approved?
Through the chair. So I want to make sure that council understands these are two separate funds. 13 is the fund that the OptiTrack. 14 is the police fund itself, the actual police fund that we pay payroll and salary on. Yes, this amount that we are appropriating is the amount of cash revenue that was paid to the city over 2 years. In 2025, the department did not put up asking to spend it yet. Now we have the combined amount for 24 and 25, and it amounts to 202,000. So we're asking council to appropriate that into a project under, which is for training, which will be in place for the department to use, in essence, supplement not using it out of their own police fund. So if you look at the police fund, we don't have to pay for this out of the general operating budget. It comes from collected monies that are provided by the state to the department for training and training only. And that's what we're asking council to appropriate that to Project 45, which is police training.
Councilman Hughes?
So it's unknown what it's gonna be actually used for.
Oh, so the chair, it is only used for training. When police officers go, I sign off that those funds are available. This is, we do not purchase or acquire anything other than training because we end up reporting back to the state how much of this was spent each year towards training.
We have plans, we know the plans of the training.
Through the chair, I'm not sure if the department knows how they're gonna spend all 202, but I think last year alone, we spent 60 in travel and we had officers getting training in different types of programs, and I think the police department could best address what those programs were.
Okay. Councilwoman White?
Is this for our police officers, cadet officers, or both police and cadet?
To the chair, we just use police officers because it's, you have to be a police officer. A cadet is not an officer until that cadet passes the examination.
Okay. That completes items 1 through 14. Under second reading, we have ordinance 26-73 that's here for a second reading. The lieutenant for the abolish the position. comments about that or discussion?
This 70, through the chair,
Go ahead.
the 70,000, is that the same figure that we had the first time? That, I'm not saying it changed anything.
Well, to the chair, yes, that is correct. That was what was in the last legislation. Well, that's what's in the legislation.
All right, hearing objections. Make a motion that we take items 1 through 4 and 6 through 14 to the council floor for consideration and passage. And move in second that 1 through 4 and 6 through 14 go forward to the council floor for consideration and passage. And item 5, I recommend a motion that committee go to the CPED committee.
Second.
All right. And ordinance 2673 is in the second reading. Are we good for consideration and passage? A motion to consider pass?
Make a motion to take ordinance 26-73 to council floor for consideration and passage.
Okay. Clerk, you have all that? Okay.
Councilman.
Yes, Chuck.
Friday's the big day, through the chair.
Oh, the street list. So we should start working on that if we.
I got one.
All right.
So yes.
Okay, a reminder to my colleagues that our resurfacing list is due to Chuck. And Chuck, is it City Hall close of business or is it 11:59 PM on March 20th?
I think as long as I have it by close of business through the chair, I think.
So would that be as long as it's in by the close of business of Sunday because you're closed? So we have it at 11:59 on Sunday.
I usually work Friday nights till about 8, 9 o'clock, so.
Okay. That's noted. There's no other business. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. We're adjourned at 5:14 PM.